Hi, and welcome back to the Grow Old Disgracefully blog. Today we are talking about men, again, men's mental health, and this article that I'm talking about is called Read Before You Breed. You can find the URL underneath. So, I was talking to a gentleman who has a daughter. I think she's 11, and he's going through some struggles. Not so much with the child, she's a good girl, but just the way life has panned out, really. He asked me to write this article because he wants to not put men off from having children and not be seen to being really negative about parenting or relationships. But he just wants to express his feelings and explain what happened to him, just in case a woman's watching this and they're thinking about having a baby with a man, or there's a man watching this who's thinking maybe he wants children. So he and I discussed what he wanted to talk about, and he actually came up with the title, Read Before You Breed. So basically, he was in a relationship, a happy relationship, up until he was about 40 with the same lady. They'd been together for well over 10 years, very happy. But she decided she wanted to have a baby. He didn't feel the need to. His childhood wasn't all that great. There'd been a lot of problems with abuse, and he didn't really feel the need to. He was happy with the woman that he was with. However, she really wanted a baby, and so he felt guilty and he decided to agree to have a baby. So he went through the normal scenario of getting pregnant, the joys of being a father, which, he started to get excited about. And then the whole relationship, like normal, sort of changed. She wasn't obviously so attentive anymore to his needs. And she had the excitement of a whole new little life coming into their world and all the things that go with it. So she had the baby. And then, of course, like a lot of us experience, changes started to happen. He was no longer the centre of her world. She focused solely on the baby and saw him as, just a man bringing money into the house. There wasn't really a relationship anymore. She sort of pushed him out in a way. And he's waited because it's quite natural for things like that to happen. But after about a year, there was a turning point for him when he was having a conversation and expressing a certain way that he thought that they should do something with the child. And the woman just turned around and said, look, it's the mother that has the final say. She's the one that carries the child in the womb, so what she says goes. And this really hurt him a lot. So he'd lost really the connection with this woman, and now she's turning around and saying to him, even though you bring in the money, what you say doesn't really matter because I'm the mother. I carried the baby in my womb. But she soon forgot the fact that he had to give the sperm in the first place to make the baby. Needless to say, the relationship was very strained, and he ended up moving out, not having an affair, just moving out and going into another property. But even to this day, he's been there, shared the parenting, financially made sure everything's okay. Everybody was, they had everything. Nobody went without. So he's been really good. He didn't walk away from his responsibility. He came away from what was becoming a slightly toxic environment, which wasn't going to be healthy for a baby to grow up in. So he thinks he loved her. He wasn't in love with her. They never discussed marriage when they were a lot younger. It was just their relationship just sort of went along. And he says to himself, perhaps if he was with someone that he was truly in love with, it might have been different. On the other hand, because of his history with his childhood not being so great, maybe not. But anyway, the reason he asked me to write this article was explain to people and to say, don't breed, don't have a baby unless you are really sure. Make sure, and I know you can't predict the future and people change like they did, but he never wanted a baby and he did it for his partner. and he knows that that was the mistake he made, just wanting to make her happy. That's the reason why he had a child, and it wasn't right. And he just wants to say to other guys out there, make sure you're sure. If a woman's saying to you, I really want a baby, this will make me complete, make sure you're 100% in there that you're going to do it, because it causes so many complications. So he moved out. He had a job that was shift work, which was good in one way, because he could do like 4 days of being heavily involved with the child, and then 4 days where he just had to do bits here and there. So the actual mother, who since that day, so that's 11 years ago, has never had another partner or really gone out very much. She just literally devotes herself to her child. He's always been there to support her, and she's had a little job for 2 days a week, but she really needs to get out. She's got no real sort of, she's got her parents, but she hasn't got lots of friends, and it's starting to reflect on the child. She's saying things which is now being repeated to the man, and just unnecessary things, little digs about, oh, it's okay because your dad can do this, your dad can do that, when actually she is able to do those things. And if she went and got herself a full-time job, now the child's at senior school, that would give her so much more money. You know, she has the benefits, she has a part-time job, and she has maintenance, so there's money there. So there is an underlying problem between the two people, the father and the mother. There's that emotional underlying problem, and then there's the emotional thing of having a child coming along. So if you peel back the onion on this man and you went right back to where his problems are, it's when he was a child, and it was exactly the same age, about 11 or 12, when he had massive problems. So he's doing okay now, but he can see more problems coming in the future, where the mother is sort of brainwashing the child, and not in a nasty way. She just lives day to day. Her house is a mess. She doesn't make the bed. It's just dirty, her house, and it's not a good environment for the child to, you know, be growing. I think he's embarrassed when he takes his friends around. He's really, really embarrassed by the mess of it all. So of course, the gentleman I'm talking about, he has that frustration. So really, he just wants to get the message across that have a baby for the right reason. I think he's going to be fine. They're going to sort it out. But at the end of the day, they shouldn't really have had a baby. I mean, the daughter is truly loved by both grandparents and by the mum and dad. But it's not a situation that he really wanted to have found himself in. So read the article before you breed. Good luck. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.